Hey guys, Kakarot197 again. This time with an unboxing of the high-grade After Colony Gundam Deathscythe from the Gundam Wing anime series provided to me by my favorite online hobby store, Hobbyling Japan. Links to buy your own Grim Reaper Gundam down below. And as usual, we're getting a very nice looking action-packed box art. We've got fire effects all over the thing. We've got a poor Leo being blown up, as they tend to do. The Deathscythe itself has a very nice actiony pose. All of the beams are activated. And then in the back we have the Wing Gundam, which is also ready to fire. And I just noticed the Buster Shield is even ready to be fired off itself. So very nice indeed. Then on the side of the box, we get all of the gimmicks and the features that this thing has. Things like the scythe being storable on the back skirt. We're getting 2 different beam effect parts for the beam scythe. A lot of things are moving, including a very nice hip joint. And the only thing that I would have liked to see move that I don't think is going to be moving on this model kit is the tips of the shoulders, which could move on the 1/100 scale. And it did allow for some cool dynamic poses on that thing. But other than that, things are looking really nice here. We've got some separating armor on the knee, and I wonder what that locking mechanism is going to be that they're talking about. Then on the other side, we just get a bit of backstory on the Deathscythe, like how it was a specialized stealth machine with things like the hyper jammer and its high mobility. So then, let's open up the box and see what we're getting inside of it. Starting off with the very nice and colorful A-runner, and it looks like other than a few small details like the crotch V-fin or the machine cannons here, things are looking pretty good here. Then the B1 runner is the universal Gundam wing frame for the high grade, so there's not really too much that I can say about this, so let's immediately move on to the C1 and the C2 runners. Essentially, these are the Deathscythe specific joints, along with things like a thruster for the backpack. And talking about the backpack here, we've got the D runner, which isn't exactly the type of gray that I would have expected it to be. Like, I would have expected it to be a lighter gray, and this kind of feels like it has a little bit of brown in it. Not that it looks bad, just not the type that I was expecting. And judging by the way that some of the parts have been molded and some of the gate parts, I think they're definitely going to be able to reuse this with the Deathscythe Hell. Then next up we're getting the E1 runner, and again we're getting some of those telltale signs that this is definitely going to be able to be reused for the Deathscythe Hell. And just as with the A runner, we do still have to do a little bit of detail painting, like right here on the feet, but other than that, everything is looking nicely detailed again. And then finally, we're getting the beam effect parts. Now, we do get all of the main ones we need. We get an effect part for the Buster Shield. We get 2 effects for the beam scythe, which I guess could mean that they're going to be reusing this wholesale for the Deathscythe Hell. But the one extra effect part I would have liked is like from one of the earlier scenes of the anime where Duo finds the Wing Gundam after it crashed into the ocean, and he like straightens up his scythe, generates a small beam to defuse the self-destruct sequence of the Wing Gundam. It might be a bit of a random thing that I would have liked to see, but for some reason, like after I saw that scene the first time, it always stuck with me. And then of course we get a polycap runner and some stickers as well. And then finally, let's have a quick look at the manual and what it can tell us about the Deathscythe. And in general, there's no big revelations here. It's got a Buster Shield, it's got a very powerful beam scythe. It's just that, well, they use a bit of a weak comparison to show how strong that beam scythe is. Where was it? It has a wide attack range and is powerful enough to slice Oz 06 MS Leo units in half. I mean, frankly, one shot from its machine cannon can slice a Leo in half. So that's not really saying a lot. Sneezing at a Leo could cut it in half in the Gundam Wing anime. Also, apparently the way that the Hyperjammer works is by releasing Minovsky particles, except they don't call them Minovsky particles here, they just say special particles. But for all intents and purposes, they seem to function exactly as Minovsky particles. Because by releasing those special particles, radars are jammed, and under certain conditions, even optical equipment, which Minovsky particle interference could also have a visual effect. So it's not completely Minovsky particles, but it is quite close to them. So with all of those things out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and build my Deathscythe and wonder when we're getting the Deathscythe hell, which is inevitably going to happen as evidenced by the runners. If you want your own God of Death, links down below. And as always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow with a review of this thing.